As the chapter starts, the scene unfolds as a girl using laptop, thanking game devs for making such a fun world. She started Orbit Fantasy online and found some rare info. She thought she will have to verify it. The girl wanted to say that she is a completely ordinary high schooler, but she is actually a shut-in. She have felt out of place around others for as long as she can remember, and the older she got, the more she felt like living was a pain, and also she didn't go to middle school, and while she did take the high school entrance exam, she still felt out of place there. Instead of going to school, she immersed herself in an online RPG. She clarified that she made her correct an elf with her hair silver and eyes gold. The protagonist states that it is really fun that she pulled all night playing it and cleared the main quest and reached max level and max number of items. The game devs always came up with elaborate, fun events, and so she is once again immersed in that world. While she was playing, she found that her character is in a small room in a cave and thought that it has got to be that mysterious hidden room in the Cave of Inspiration, and digging a hole on Christmas Eve is certainly something she have never done before. She thought to walk along the wall and right after defeating the boss, but not taking its loot, and then she found a secret passage. She took pickaxe from her inventory and thought that this is the time to try this out. She thought to use legendary pickaxe made with a large amount of rare materials. When the girl's character used that pickaxe on the floor, nothing happened and the pickaxe broke. It's only slightly bigger than a 10x10 room, and 200 should be more than enough. Now then, girl thought to start over in a corner, and when she hit a corner, floor broke and light came from there. She was amused to see an original animation, as she have never seen this VFX before. A magic sphere came outside into her character's hand, and then disappeared. When she checked, it was not in her inventory nor in her gallery, but girl wondered as it was shown in the chat log, so she thinks she got it. She thought even after playing for this long, there are still things she don't know about this world, and that is why she can't stop playing it. Girl then went to bed thinking that she wanted to play even more tomorrow. However, that cold Christmas Eve, she died. Everyone dies eventually, but she certainly didn't think she would die on Christmas Eve, and she had been so full of excitement before she died, as she died dreaming of tomorrow, as she wanted to enjoy the game more. The girl thinks as it's no use complaining if she died in the game. She could just respawn, but she respawned in real life, but then she heard a voice stating that she can reincarnate. Girl opened her eyes as a newborn child and found that there were a man and woman standing there. Retaining her memories of her previous life, the girl gained a new life. Parents were playing with the newborn, and she can't move. Reincarnated girl found that her mother is a beautiful person with silver hair and shining blue eyes, and compared to her mum, her dad's looks quite normal, but he has brown hair and golden eyes, which she find really pretty. The girl inherited her mother's silver hair and pretty looks and her father's golden eyes, and she thought that she will definitely be really pretty when she grew up. Then she remembered about the silver hair and golden eyes and thought that she was reincarnated into the world of the game she loved so much. At first, she couldn't do anything due to being a baby, but she eventually managed to learn how to walk on her own, and she might have had the memories of a high schooler. Her muscle strength and rate of growth were that of a normal baby. Then, after days of practicing, she finally became able to pronounce it. One day, her mother went away asking Rini, the girl, to watch over the house with Papa. Rini then shouted status and became happy as it worked. There was a screen showing her status and her race as elf, but she was surprised to see that she is at max level. She found that this is her status from the game from before she reincarnated, and that means the data was transferred. She was thinking that she is only 1 and she is already OP. She then thought to open inventory, but she was struggling to speak that, and when she opened the inventory, she had all the items leveled up. She had been reincarnated into the world of the game she loved so much. She only wanted to do one thing, that she wanted to travel the world. She decided to travel the world and remembered that she found the lake of chilling rain. So pretty lake looks so incredibly pretty on a screen, so she wondered what it will be like in real life, and also the forest of echoes that took her so long to clear. Rini wonders she fight against enemies that mimic her abilities in real life, and the shifting desert, the map of which changes every time she enters. Rini then wonder how the sand carried by the scorching dry when changes the terrain in reality. Rini want to see it all and know it all, and she want to experience this world to her heart's content, and she want to feel with her own 5 senses. This world Rini could only gaze at from the other side of a screen. Then Rini November about Magic Spare and thought that might also exist here, and she couldn't even figure out what it did. When she was wondering, her father called her and asked if everything is all right. Father woke up and asked Rini if she is there. Rini went to her father and found that her father is currently ill. A Apparently, he got caught in an accident while hunting monsters around a month after she was born and caught some kind of disease from the wound. So her mother has to work herself to the bone to be able to buy him medicine and food for everyone. Rini likes to think that thanks to this, she is easier to handle than normal babies. Her father's condition is gradually worsening, and her mother will collapse too as she keeps overworking herself like this. Rini decided to get everything back in order, and first off, she had to make Dad healthy again. Rini thought that it is a good thing that she is able to use items now and decided to use legendary healing potions, and secondly to spread legendary fertilizers on the field to super rare produce to get money. The money from selling the rare produce should help boost their finances, and then Mom won't work herself to death either. Now that Rini knows she can use her inventory, she is going to do everything within her power so that Mom and Dad can live in peace even when she set off on her journey. Rini then stared at her father and managed to climb the bed. She used inventory and picked up health potion. Rini was expecting legendary healing potions to be yucky-looking rainbow fluids, but they are actually quite pretty and heady. When she tried to open the cap, it was tight, but she decided not to give up and tried again. She did it and splashed all the liquid on her father's face. Former high school student, reincarnated and maxed overpowered, 1-year-old Rini Sherm's first attempt in her second life at trying to help out ended with her wetting her father's bed. Ward, father, woke up and wondered where Rini is getting the water from and then grabbed Rini. Mom asked Ward if he is okay, and Ward affirmed and responded that thanks to Rini pouring water over him while he was asleep. Mom got emotional and thanked God as Ward recovered. While Rini didn't manage to get him to actually drink any, the potion seemed to have an effect even when only poured on him. Rini found that they don't seem to have the concept of inventories here, and Mom and Dad seem to have no idea where she got the healing potions from, and they cannot seem to see status screens either. Rini supposes since, as a reincarnator, she is the only one with the concept of stats or inventory. It is akin to an inherent skill, something she is grateful for, since it means she can use it in front of others. Their dad was talking about Rini, probably a water age, and the reason she only targets him is because she hates him. Mum responded that Rini might be playing pranks on Ward because she likes him. Ward then grabbed Rini again, had stated that she has gotten quite heavy. Rini responded that she is too now. Ward went out, and Rini turned to while she was busy pouring healing portions on Dad. Ward asked Rini to take care of Mum for him, and Rini agreed. Rini still cannot pronounce everything properly and stated to Mom that Dad will be okay. Mom then asked her to wait for Dad to come back. While Mom was stitching clothes, Rini asked her if Rini can go outside. Mom agreed and asked her to stay here so she can see Rini. Rini thought that it is time to carry out step number 2 of her to help her poor and overworked family. Rini opened the gate and found that is their plot of farmland. The crops are not doing well because they are continuously being grown on this small plot of land, and it is mainly just a vegetable garden so they have something to eat. Rini explains that in the game, fields and guardians were places where she could collect materials, so using them to grow vegetables feels refreshing, and then she used inventory and pick fertilizers. She used fertilizers but got tired very soon. She again decided not to give up and thought that is nothing compared to the game and she just have to spread the soil. Rini thought that she won a spade. Then Mum came there and asked what is the matter. Rini stated that she wants something to dig with. Mum then apologized and stated that they don't have the money to buy something like that. Mum stated that Dad and she are doing their best and apologized again. Rini stated that it is okay and stated that she will check around the house, maybe she will find something, and ran away. Rini knew that they are poor, but she didn't think that they were not able to buy a spade. Rini used inventory and thought what could she use as a spade, which is something she could scoop up earth with, and suddenly came up with ladle back to Mom. Ladle has virtually no attack power, but it makes cooking feel more intuitive. Mom wondered why there was a ladle on their land, and that too a high-quality one. Then Mom agreed to Rini and asked her to return it back if she bumped into its owner. Rini went to the field and spread the fertilizer with that ladle. She thought this will take ages and slept. Mom was talking with Dad about ladle and stated that Rini responded as ladle was on the ground near the house. Mom also responded that she doubt there is ladles just lying about around here, and the one Rini said she found looked really high quality. Dad wondered if Mom was saying about it was magic. Mom responded that she thought that Rini was a water mage, but she might possess an even more incredible power and Mom don't know how to make sense of it. Mom also stated that it could be magic that lets them get things. When Dad wondered about it, Mom responded that she has never heard of magic like that, and she have heard of things like fire or magic and light and dark magic though. Dad asked Mom if magic she have never heard of exists. Mom responded that she don't know, but Rini is certainly more than just a water image, and if Rini is an elf. Dad grabbed Mom's hand and Mom got tears in her eyes. Mom responded that Rini is a genius. While having tea, Mom asked Dad to hide it from Rini, and Dad agreed. In the next scene, Reni's mom stated that she is going out to collect vegetables and asked Reni not to go wandering off outside. When she went to the field, she was shocked to see plants and vegetables. She immediately called Dad, and Dad built a fence around the garden. He thought that it would be bad if others saw this. Dad recovered, and now they are growing the rare produce in their fields, but for some reason they are still dirt poor. Reni thought about that, and she arrived at the conclusion that they had taken out loans, most likely because her dad had gotten ill, and it is very unlikely that the two of them ruined themselves before she was born, and they are diligent for that. It had to have been around a month after she was born when her mum couldn't go work, and her dad got sick, and couldn't go outside either. Dad has to be it. Rini thought if that even possible that the two of them are working themselves to the bone and selling what they grow. And it is not like Reni mind eating vegetables, do not be able to repay their loans despite that she feels like they are being scammed. One day there was knocking on the door, and many people asking parents to open the door and give them the money which parents borrowed. Mom grabbed Rini and hid her in the cupboard and asked her not to come out of there. Rini there thought that this house is empty as hell, and it is horrible. When Mom opened the door, people stated that she won't be able to pay off her interest with a fork and asked her if she is even working. Then they noticed that the cutlery is all wooden and thought that parents will just break the moment they get wet. Mom asked them to leave and stated that they have fully repaired their loans, and she seemed to remember telling people not to come here. A man from the crowd stated that is not how someone who borrowed money from them should be talking to them, and asked her if they asked her to borrow their money, and broke her glass plate. Man showed her the agreement with her name on it. When Mom stated that she had paid the full sum written there, Man responded that what she paid was only the interest. A big man was wrecking the house, and Mom asked him to stop and stated that she will pay the money. People asked her how she can pay as she kept going on about how she didn't have enough, and with that said, there is only one thing worth anything in this house. Man then touched Mom's cheeks and stated that she would fetch quite a pretty penny with her looks, and the man keep telling her the reason it has come to this is because she never say yes. When Mom not responded, Man asked her if she is deaf and stated that what he is saying is she would be easily able to repay the loans if she were to sell her body. Another man stated that if she had a daughter, they could have sold both of them ad to think her kid would die it must suck being poor. He also asked Mom that they have got a third and if it was supposed to be her dead kids. Rini got to know that Mom and Dad are pretending that Rini is dead. People would keep teasing Mom. Rini decided to show herself, but then Dad came there and asked them what do they think they are doing in someone else's house. He hit people and asked them to let her go and not to come back. People went away and Rini in the cupboard used inventory to equip Hermit's robes. This robe blocks their presence and allows the user to move without encountering enemies. She then opened the cupboard and went away thinking that she won't forgive them for making Mom cry. When Rini reached to people, she found that Guy is strong. They were speaking that they are no match for Dad in a normal fight, and his strength didn't matter when he was up against a monster. A man stated that Dad got injured protecting his comrades, and to think he doesn't even know that the guy was paid off by them. Rini was listening to all the stuff. Man stated that they got Dad good in their trap, and he should have died, but no, he just had to survive. Another man responded that they would have reached out to his wife when she was having difficulties making ends meet, and they were going to take her in, child and all. A man then stated that Dad also providing for the family of one of his dead comrades, saying something like because he couldn't save themselves. People stated that they were gonna kill the parents anyway, so the monster doing it for them was quite lucky. Rini got angry after listening to this and used inventory to get cat paws. Rini asked them about the agreement and people got confused. They then teased her and tried to trap her in a cloth bag, but Rini stated that they can't catch her and dodged it. She used her cat paws and attacked one of the people. The attack threw him far away. When another man asked what she did to him, Rini responded that she punched him and asked the man to give her the agreement, but another man tried to catch her, and she used her cat's claw and took down him and again asked for the agreement. The last man standing there got worried and took out all the agreements and asked which one is her. She found her agreement and wondered if the other one is for the guy who betrayed Dad. The man then put the agreements on the ground, and when Rini went to pick it, The man tried to attack her, but she did counterattack by cat's tail. Rini then thought to hide the house and took out the scroll of avoidance, as using it while camping will make monsters unable to come close. She wondered if it should work if she buries it, but when she tried to dig ground from the ladle, she found that the ground is really hard from all the people walking over it, but she decided not to give up. After that, when she did it and managed to persevere, Dad came there and hugged her. Mom also came, and Rini stated that she found agreements on the ground. In the night, Mom and Dad were having conversation. Dad asked, "What do Mom think?" And Mom responded that Rini definitely did something. Dad clarified that he was terrified when he heard that some suspicious-looking men entered their house, and just when he managed to chase them out, Rini went missing. Mom stated that she was sure she had hidden Rini in the closet, but all she found was this piece of paper saying, "Leave it to Rini." Mom explains that Rini says that sometimes, usually when she looked troubled, and it helps solve the problem most of the time, so Mom assumed that Rini was up to something this time too, but Mom never would have thought that Rini would get the agreements. Mom stated that they have been trying to not let people find out that Rini and she was here. Dad responded that it would have been bad if people made the agreement public, so Dad paid them as much as they wanted. When Dad suggested to thought it over a bit more, Mom stated that it is a bit late for that now. Dad agreed and stated that Rini didn't miss the opportunity and chose which path to go down for them. Mom appreciated Rini and stated that if it were not for Rini, she doubts they would have been able to overcome this, and Dad affirmed. Mom clarified that she was not expecting to be blessed with a child when they decided to do it together, but she was really happy that she is still really glad that she threw away everything and took Dad's hand back then. When they both went to bed, a bell of perception rang beside Rini. This bell informs her when it senses enemy killing intent. Rini immediately went to a window and noticed some men. She thought, stupid as it has been a week since she got the agreement back. Mom and Dad stayed inside a lot the past week, and Dad played with Rini a lot as if making up for last time. To the debt collectors, the agreements are important tools with which they can threaten parents, and the reason they kept asking for more money was to take Mother away. So as long as collectors are after her, their home will continue to be targeted. Rini equipped the cat paws and wore the hermit's robe. She wore her feathered rabbit's boots, which allows to increase her speed and to enter jump mode. Now she is faster and she won't get tired. Even though she is max level, she is only 3. So she gets exhausted after walking or running around for even just a short while. She left a note saying, "Leave it to Rini," and jumped out of the window. When she landed, she saw those men. They were talking about the house as they cannot see it here. Rini thought that after a little observation, the scroll of avoidance seems to work via mental interference. Suspicious people approach their house, then they suddenly stop around where she buried the scroll, and then they head off in a different direction for some reason. Rini laughed at them, and men wondered if there is anyone apart from them. A man stated that they are just wasting their time and decided to go back. While they were heading back, a man stated that this is a bit scary, and he heard someone laughing. Men wonder if they should just give up, as it is only one woman, and they have made quite a lot of cash by now. They thought it would be better if they just let parents be. But another man asked them to shut it up and stated that this is not just their problem, but they have no choice but to do this if they want to keep working here, and they have gone too far to pull back now. He also stated that if they succeed, their relation with the boss will improve and they won't have money trouble ever again. Then they decided to come again during the day and to figure out how this happened. When they were having conversation, Rini was listening to them, and then they left for Slanida, the everlasting city, and Rini followed them. When they reached near the city, Rini got confused and thought, how did the men plan on getting inside the city in that getup, but got shocked that they went through the main gate. When they entered a building, Rini got to know that they were debt collectors. Mom borrowed money from here to buy daily necessities and medicine for Dad. Despite being a block off the main street, it is still a really fancy-looking building, and Rini doubts her mother would have thought things would end up like this. But Rini found it strange that they entered through the main gates without even trying to pretend not to look suspicious, and thought that there should be a limit to how careless they can be, but they went straight back to their base. She concluded that it appears the city permits such actions. Rini feels like if collectors only wanted to sell Mom, they would not have been anywhere near as involved as this, but then thought that Mom is as pretty as a goddess. Rini stated that she has other fish to fry and jumped over the roof and used her cat claws to destroy it, and even the terribly lit ground floor she was not even aiming for was turned down by her expert handiwork and turned into a starlit atrium. She entered the building and threw wood on the right and people on the left and suddenly noticed the leader. She shook him and asked him to wake up. Even though the others were all in favor of leaving parents alone, this guy stopped them and convinced them to continue. Men woke up and wondered what is going on, but Rainy used claws to stop them there. Suddenly, a man fried and stated that place really is weird and they should have just let parents be. He got terrified and stated that it is a curse and they have been cursed. Rainy wonders that he thinks that she is an evil spirit. Out of all the emotions humans have, fear is one of the most important, and it is a survival instinct necessary for staying alive. People don't go near scary things and don't do things they find scary. Fear is the reason they can avoid danger. So Rainy thought to scare the man and chanted that she will not forgive them. Rainy thought, as expected of an overpowered 3-year-old, her acting is perfect. Man apologized and stated that they were just following orders. Rainy then asked them about the person, and then they clarified that the person is the city's boss and they were just following the Mayor Shurtum's orders. Rainy got to know that it was the Mayor Shurtum. Mayor, in other words, is the person in charge of the town. Rainy then clarified that if they are telling the truth, and the man stated that he is not lying and there is proof. When Rainy wondered, the man stated that they don't know the details, but it is in the safe. Rainy thought that the man might just be saying whatever comes to mind out of here, but given the fact that God let them through without even checking who they were, it does seem possible, and thought that the person who is after Mom is quite the big shot. Catching the eye of someone like that would invite to end of trouble. They are supported by the upper nobility called Lord, who each govern their own part of the country, and their territories are further divided into areas called cities, and the Lord of our territory appoints the head of each of their cities, who are called city mayors, and towns are appointed by the city mayors, and so the town mayor is also in charge of Rainy's village. When Rainy was thinking, someone threw a knife from behind, but it didn't hit her. The man who was terrified stated that it was not him but another man. Rainy thought that maybe a conversation was not the best way to get information, and if she seemed even just a little open to reasoning, collectors' fear diminishes, and she thought it would be fine if she just made them fear her. Rainy yelled that she won't forgive them and used cat's claws to make a tornado. There are both conscious and unconscious people, and she hoped they never meet again. She then again tried to wake up the leader, and she made sure to hold back so he didn't get beaten up too much. When the leader woke up, he got confused, and Rainy stated that she have a question for him. Rainy asked him where is the safe and explained that one of the debt collectors she turned into shooting stars let slip something about a save, and she bet proof of their connection to the town mayor inside it. The leader asked her who cares about the safe and what is the meaning of all this, and asked her if she did all this wreckage. Rainy affirmed and showed him a sample, and asked him again about the safe. The leader stated that he had never heard of something like this, and asked her if the ones with the agreement disappearing was also her work. The leader then asked her if she had a grudge against Mayor Shurtum. Rainy nodded, and the leader stated that old Coot just had to go around blatantly collecting women, but however, he is the richest person around here. The leader then stated that the male would certainly want a cat beast girl, and kids like her are really expensive, even if she know where to go. The leader then asked her what's she gonna do after eliminating them, as she cannot stay alive here, about if she opposed Shurtum, and Rainy denied when the leader stated that a kid like her would not understand. Rainy asked him about the safe again, and the leader asked her to shut up and stated that if she don't know then he will enlighten her, and clarified that Shurtum controls all the politicians around here and the judges too. The man further stated that Shurtum can fabricate charges against her and send in his soldiers, and she will be publicly acknowledged as a wanted criminal. The leader asked her if she thinks that she is some bringer of justice, and stated that she is the evil one, and in this town she is in the wrong. When the leader asked her to try raising a hand against him, and stated that she will never be able to live normally again, Rainy said that it is fine with her. She stated that she will be going on a journey anyway, and thought that she don't care if the mayor of a small town and his debt collectors goons call her evil. Rainy stated him to tell him something interesting, and stated that it is fine as long as no one finds out. Rainy then thanked him for the information and punched him. She is looking for the safe now and noticed something unusual on the floor. There was a secret passage to the basement. Rainy thought that if this were the game, she would have to check the whole place square by square until there seemed to be something here, and also thought that the power of observation is really important in real life. She entered the basement, and it's dark everywhere. She used her eyes and found that there were all the food. She wondered if this is how real cats see too. She suddenly remembered the game had an item called the fairy lantern, which was easier to use, and she could have used it here too, but then she thought that she would not be the only one receiving the benefit of its light, and she would stand out like a sore thumb in this darkness, and this is a stealth mission. Rini decided to see something suspicious and found something around 30 kg. She thought if only she had put on the cat's paw gloves when she was dealing with the healing potion and the fertilizer. She also thought that it is not like she can wear them in front of mom and dad anyway, and she turned into a cat girl too and concluded that it is perfect as a disguise, but not suited for everyday use. She found the safe, but she needs the password. She used her extra effect to unlock the safe, and she found many agreements there. It's an accounting ledger and proof of the town mayor Shurdom's misdeeds. Rini thought she don't know any of the details, but it seems like there is proof of fraud and even human trafficking in here. Rini thought if Mum had been caught by the debt collectors, then these copies of receipts of human trafficking would have likely had her name on them. She took some agreements and jumped on the ground floor, but she jumped a bit too high that she fell the documents and lost her balance. She wondered why this kept happening as she spilled the healing portion all over Dad and dropped the fertilizer all over the field, and now it is the documents. She then thought she should have put the documents in her inventory, and she even thought of doing it while sorting through them, but since there was nowhere to escape if someone came, she decided it would be better to do it back outside since there was only one exit. She never thought she would jump too high and drop the documents and then remember that this happened a lot in the game and decided that she won't be discouraged. Suddenly there was some voice asking Rini to watch out. Then is a girl who picked Rini up. Rini found her pretty and thanked her. Vinay noticed that she was an elf same as Rini. That girl kneeled after Rini and stated that it is an honor to meet her, and Rini got completely confused. The girl stated that she has been looking forward to meeting Rini for a long time. When Rini wondered how the girl knew her name, the girl stated that she was told by Rini's mother. When Rini was getting confused, the girl stated that it seems Rini have not been told anything yet. Rini then put her hand on the girl's head and asked her to leave it to Rini. The girl became emotional and stated that it's an honor and she never thought such a day would come to be patted on the head by Rini. When the girl's eyes were full of tears, Rini asked her if she is okay, and the girl apologized and stated that she is okay, and she really have been waiting so long for the day she get to meet Rini. She further stated that she even started to think that they would never come, and yet she just had to show Rini such a pathetic side of her, and she wanted to give Rini a way cooler greeting. Rini have no idea why on earth this is happening, but she can tell this must be something really important for this elf girl. Rini stated that she is glad to have met this elf girl. When Rini again patted the girl's head, the girl thought that it is not good and Rini is just too precious and fell down, but then she woke up and apologized for getting so distraught. Rini fell through the air beneath the moonlit night sky, accompanied by the evidence of evils fluttering to the ground around her, and also by a girl who was so cute that she could have been an idol, and she was an elf too. And then the girl apologized, and when Rini asked her if she is all right, the girl affirmed and stated that she is just a bit too overjoyed. The girl asked Rini about these documents, and she found that they are proof of Mayor Shurdom's misdeeds. Rini stated that she only wanted to destroy their hideout, but they had quite the big shot backing them, and asked what do she do now. The girl asked her to leave this to her and stated that she shall take care of everything. The girl asked Rini to feel free to catch her breath, and then she took all the agreements. The girl asked Rini to go home as her mother is worried about her, and Rini agreed. Rini used hermit's robe, then the girl got confused about Rini, and then Rini proved her presence and stated that her cloak has the power to erase her presence and asked the girl if she can hear Rini. The girl found and stated that Rini is wearing other really powerful equipment too. The girl then asked Rini if she told her mother, but Rini denied, and then the girl asked from where did Rini get them. Rini stated that she has always had them and thought she cannot tell the girl that she actually got them in a game in her previous life. The girl stated that she understands and Rini is special. The girl explained that she is aware that Rini possesses an incredible power and amazing equipment, but there is something else that also needs to be kept in mind. When Rini asked what it is, the girl responded that Rini is still small, so she has a lot of growing to do, and so it would be best if Rini tried not to rely on her equipment so much because too powerful equipment might restrict her physical growth and her body will slack off. Rini asked if she cannot get muscles. The girl affirmed and asked if Rini knows what muscles are. The girl also stated that Rini needs muscles to grow big, and so she would like Rini to walk around without relying on her gear, and Rini agreed to take them off. Rini took all the equipment in inventory except for the cloak, and the girl got surprised as if Rini is already done. The girl got emotional and thought that it is pathetic of her to not know anything about Rini. Rini stated to the girl that she will do her best walking and asked the girl if they can hold hands while walking as she is worried about falling over. The girl got surprised and agreed as the small warm thing touching her hand is none other than Rini's hands. Rini stopped and asked the girl if she can carry Rini if Rini got tired. The girl asked Rini to get going as this may be presumption of her as the girl is getting anxious. Rini asked Elf Girl how they are getting back and the girl responded that they will climb over the wall. Rini when stated that it is really tall, the girl asked Eni if she knew what elves are known as and Rini answered as the forest sages. The girl stated that the elves usually live deep inside the forest not interacting with humans and there are many amongst them who are proficient at manipulating mana. She further stated that they have long lifespan and possess an abundance of knowledge and they live relaxed lives, leading them to being called that. Rini remembered that it was the same in the game that instead of living in human settlements, elves created their own villages, and while they had a lot of mana, they were more adept at healing magic than offensive spells, and also knew a lot about herbs and history, and also Rini chose to be an elf too, but she spent most of her time getting equipment. The girl stated that there are also another thing elves are called which is the hunters of the forest. When Rini wondered why, the girl stated that she will show the reason they are called that and asked Rini if girl can pick her up and Rini affirmed. The girl picked Rini up and found that Rini is so adorable and precious, but then thought to be calmed down as if the girl collapsed right now. Rini will also get caught up in it, and the girl absolutely have to avoid that. When the girl was breathing heavily, Rini asked her if she's alright. The girl affirmed, but she was fond of Rini's voice. The girl then held Rini tight and thought that she cannot let herself collapse right now. The girl stated if she is holding Rini uncomfortable. Rini then nodded, but suddenly the girl jumped over the wall and held a branch of a tree. Rini was amused to see that. They get on top of the wall and the girl asked Rini if she can see the monster over there, and Rini affirmed. The girl explained that it is a Unirabbit and in the game, their levels range between 1 to 10, and they were starter enemies. Elf Girl took her bow, but the Unirabbit escaped. Suddenly, Rini felt some kind of power and wondered if this is mana. The girl took a shot and hunted that Unirabbit when it was not even visible anymore to Rini. Rini found it amazing and stated that the girl is very strong and asked her name. The girl apologized for the late introduction and stated that she is Sanyu Alma, and Rini called her Sammy-chan. They both were going home, and Rini asked Samu if all else can do it, and Samu affirmed and stated that if by it Rini means mana manipulation. Rini responded that she didn't heard of that before, and Samu explained that the elves can manipulate mana to heighten their physical abilities, and earlier when she climbed the wall and also when she shot the Unirabbit, she was using mana manipulation to make herself stronger. Rini got amazed to listen to that, and Samu further stated that the elves are very much adept at mana manipulation and humans don't have much mana inside of them in the first place, so it is more or less impossible for them, but for elves, their mana circulates throughout their body along with their blood, making them have a lot of mana that is also easily controlled, and it also makes them live much longer than humans. After listening to this, Rini wondered if she can do it too, and thought that her status says she is an elf, but her ears are not pointy at all. Rini asked Samu if she can become stronger if she gets more muscles, and Samu affirmed. Samu further responded that Rini definitely has incredible potential, and she has not grown up yet, which is why she cannot display her full power. Samu further stated that if Rini waits until she has grown up a bit more when she is around 13 to 16 years old, then Samu is sure that Rini will be able to use all of the power lying dormant within her. Rini thought despite being max level, she didn't think her stats were stat modifiers like Samu said. Then Rini looked at stats and was shocked that it is 97% less. Samu asked Rini what is the matter, but Rini started nothing. Rini got worried as a negative modifier has been added and it only appeared after her talk with Samu. Rini thought her status screen does not show all information about her. Instead, it gives things she is aware of and understands numerical values and displays those to her, and also the fact that she is an elf. Rini further thought if she is an elf and mana is circulating throughout her body, then she can become much stronger by mastering mana manipulation. Rini recalled that in the game she couldn't get any stronger after reaching max level, but here it might just be possible as there is plenty of room for growth. While walking, Rini thought that every one of these steps is a step towards removing that negative modifier. Finally, Rini reaches her parents, and when Dad comes to Rini, Samu takes Rini to Mom and apologizes for being late. Mom asked if Rini is hurt anywhere, but she is alright. Mom thanks Samu, and she responded that she is the one who should be grateful for being reached out to Majesty. Rini got confused if Mom is a queen. Mom affirmed and stated that she is the queen of the elves. Rini thought that is such a high status that her brain can hardly follow what is happening. Dad states that Mom is a former queen and now she is his beloved wife now. Samu kneels to think that such a human man is the one to receive Lady Rini's unwavering trust and Her Majesty's beautiful smile. That day in the night, the family and Samu were sitting together. Mom stated that she knew Rini might be tired but she think they should discuss everything. Rini stated that she is okay, and then Mom asked her what she think when Mom told her that she was the queen of the elves, and Rini responded that is really cool, and she wondered why Mom's ears are rounded too. Mom decided that they should tell Rini everything, and she is sure that Rini will be able to understand and choose her own path. Mom then asked Rini what the difference between humans and elves is, and Rini stated that Samu told her that is mana. Then Mom stated that she lost her ability to control mana, and it was basically a death sentence. Mom recalled the moment when she was cursed of a disease, and the elves stated that they must choose someone to carry on Her Majesty's will. Mom thought that she don't have much time remaining, but she would still like to. Mom explained that there have been elves who became unable to manipulate mana before, and there had been 3 such cases written about in their records that all of them passed on soon after. Mom further stated that she found Rini's dad collapsed and injured on the outskirts of their forest. Dad then claimed that the monster he fought was quite strong. Mom further stated that humans cannot enter deep into the forest, but she wanted to save him no matter what and took him on her shoulders. But after some distance they both fell off and Dad somehow managed to hang on his life. Dad stated that he have always been pretty lucky, although he supposed getting injured by a monster is not being very lucky at all, but he thanked to that he got to meet his wonderful wife. Sanyu then explained that the rest of them figured out Queen wanted to save Dad and normally humans and the like would immediately be driven out of the forest, but since it was the wish of their dying queen, they could not bear to separate them, and so Queen and the human gradually deepened their relationship. She thought that it is all this human's fault. Rini found her embarrassed, laughing father, happily smiling mother, and resentment. When she saw Sanyu angry, she wondered if this is how all the elves there felt at the time. Sanyu stated that they had given up hope of saving Her Majesty, but not the human. Dad then responded that it had been a rumor among them adventurers for a while that there exists a jewel that can grant any wish elves might have. Dad stated that according to some rumors, a religious sect had it, according to others, it was in the possession of some country, and so on. Dad, however, had gotten information that said it was in the possession of a dragon. After listening about a jewel, Rini wondered if it was what she think. Earlier when Queen took Dad to her mansion, Queen fell, and everybody was worried. Another day, Dad left from there and Samu tried to stop him as his wounds haven't even fully healed yet, but Dad didn't stop and went to the Cave of Inspiration. They noticed a large dragon and Samu asked Dad how did he intend on winning against that. Dad stated that he was hoping they could talk to it and work something out that way and introduced himself to Dragon, but the dragon attacked him and Samu asked if he really think that would ever happen. Dad fell on a wall and found a hidden room beside that wall. Dragon went for Samu to attack and she got terrified. Then Dad clarified Samu about that hidden room and stated that the jewel might be here. They entered the room and Dad wondered why the floor is made out of wood and suddenly cracked a piece of floor. A magic ball came out of it and Dad wondered if this is the jewel. Dad now states that he had really a good luck and Mom explains that it is said that there exist 7 jewels that help support the world and Dad and Sanyu found one of them. Dad so did that because he heard that jewels could make their wishes come true and he just wanted Mom to be cured and Sanyu stated that she also just wanted to save Majesty. Dad and Sanyu have returned and asked Queen to make her wish for a miraculous recovery, but Queen waits to become a human. Mom clarified that because by becoming a human, all her mana would disappear and she would not have to deal with it anymore. Sammy then stated that she wanted Mom to wish to be able to control mana again, and that way she could have become stronger and lived longer, and Mom responded that she just wanted to live together with Dad as a human. And so Her Majesty lost all the mana inside her and her appearance changed to that of a human and the elves could accept that since her life had been saved. However, the Majesty eloped with the human. Mom asked Samu if she was planning on separating them and Sanyu affirmed. Rini asked Dad if he was on the wanted list and Dad affirmed and stated that he kidnapped the Queen of the Elves. Samu clarified that Dad is the target of every elf sire. Mom then stated that in that case, she is the enemy of the whole world and she used one of the jewels that support the world for her own selfishness, and that made Samu cry. Mom stated that they decided to live a quiet life peacefully, just the two of them, and Dad responded that it was a bit hard at the beginning, but they got the hang of it eventually. He further stated that it was quite a surprise when she got pregnant, and it was that elves can only have children with other elves. Mom stated to Rennie that they were quite relieved when she was born and her years were round, and was also a normal human baby. She further stated that elves and humans can't have children, so it was basically proof that Mom really had become a human, but Rennie often acted quite strange, so they wondered if Rennie might not be human after all, as she needed an unusually little amount of attention, and her eyes had that sparkle of understanding in them. Dad then clarified that not knowing what to do, they hid Rennie away as they were scared the elf would take her away, that the humans would chase them away. Dad then stated that he got injured and fell ill, and then Mom did all the work. When Rennie responded that Dad kept on helping them, Dad responded that if their daughter were not Rennie, they would not have been able to overcome everything, and Dad also stated that he is really lucky that Rennie is his daughter. Dad thanked Rennie and asked if she was trying to help today too. Rennie exclaimed that she don't think she is normal but strange, as she have always been just a little different from everyone. Rennie thought in her past life when she was graduating, she thought she is looking forward to middle school and they will have a totally new school building, but everyone was crying, and when one asked her why she is not crying, Rennie responded that they are all going to the same middle school, why would she cry? Then the girl called Rennie wholehearted. Another day when they were doing field work, girls were complaining why do they have to do the reading in the courtyard. She also stated that she hate this and that teacher is horrible, but Rennie has responded that she kinda liked doing this. The girl asked her if it is so satisfying when she pulled them out, roots and all. Then Rennie affirmed. Girl then stated Rennie to do her patch too. Rennie thought that the things she said ended gradually diverged compared to everyone else, and she was told to become normal. But she unable to figure out what normal was, and she never got anywhere. Rennie now stated to Mom, even though Rennie is strange, Mom still raised her and thanked parents and hugged them. Rennie stated to parents that she wanted to go on a journey and go see the world. Rennie has chosen her path and parents allowed her. Dad stated that they will always be here if she ever need them. Mom stated that if she could make a wish right now, it would be for Rennie to be healthy and me, and for the path ahead of this special little girl to be bright. Other than that day, Rennie was lying on the bed and thought that quite a lot happened yesterday. After she followed those men back to town, she reformed Slanita's monetary situation and procured a bunch of documents detailing their unsavory actions, although it does kind of pain in comparison to what she found out a bit later. Rennie met Samu and found out that her mother was actually the queen of the elf, that her father had then run away with her, that Samu and Dad found a jewel which Mom then used to turn into a human. Then Rennie thought about that jewel, and she would never have expected the jewel she got in the game to have saved her mom's life and turned her into a human, and she didn't think it could be used in this world. Rennie thought that it probably also has something to do with her birth, and after all they did say that elves and humans cannot have children, but she was born perfectly normally. Rennie then used her power to see status, as now that her knowledge has increased. There was sealed written forward to her elf type. Rennie supposed the reason that despite being an elf she looked like a human is that her powers are sealed, and wondered if Mom is same, as based on what Rennie have heard so far, what differentiates elves and humans is whether they have mana circulating throughout their bodies, and so the jewel could have done something along the lines of removing of sealing her mana, basically turning her into a woman. Rennie thought that she inherited the same abilities as a human from her mom. Rennie thought that she might not be able to do mana manipulation after all, as she is an elf, but her mana is all sealed. Rennie then thought that if she just looked for another jewel, as they said there are 7 of them, so if Rennie find another one and wished for the seal to become undone. Rennie wondered what color are jewel in real life and how big are they, and she wondered how shiny they are. Rennie wants to see it, and even her heart is saying how it wants to see them. Rennie immediately got up from bed and went to Mom. Mom wished her morning and asked if Rennie have had enough sleep, as she stayed up quite late last night, and Rennie affirmed and stated that she is hungry. Rennie had breakfast and asked Mom if she is not busy, but Mom denied and thanked to a certain very cute and strong little girl she don't have to work herself to the bone anymore. Mom further stated that it seems like the danger is past too. Mom then clarified that Samu kept on repeating how amazingly powerful Rennie was yesterday. Mom further stated that Dad and Mom had a talk with her and asked whether they could borrow Samu for a bit. When Rennie wondered, Mom stated that she understand Rennie probably want to set off on her journey right away, but she would like for them all to live together at least until Rini is 4. Rini then thought that her 4th birthday is in half a year. Rini then stated that she will stay here until she is poor, and then Mom responded that Dad and she also have tons of things they want to do together with Rini, like going on picnic, going shopping in town, and everything else they have not been able to do until now, and that makes Rini happy. Mom stated that they will make lots of good memories together, and Rini affirmed and asked about Samu. Mom responded that she went off into the forest, and Mom is sure that she will show up in the blink of an eye if Rini call for her. Rini thought that there are still things she have to do to protect Mom and Dad, like the Mayor Shirtum, the person who was most likely behind the loan sharks. Rini recalled that Samu said she would investigate him, so Rini will settle her unfinished business with him, and then she can set out on her journey. Rini thought that she won't let herself get complacent during the half year she has still got to stay here, and there are still many things she need to do to ensure her parents can live in peace. Suddenly Samu came there and asked Rini if she called her. Rini thanked Samu for coming, but Samu was happy for being summoned personally by Lady Rini. Rini asked her how Samu know that Rini is calling for Samu, and Samu responded that Majesty told her. When Rini asked Mom, she responded that she will let Rini in on a secret among them elves. Mom explained that elves have long lifespan but not many children, so when a baby is born, everyone raises them and looks after them together. Samu stated that it is like they are all one big family, and what is more, young elf can get assigned as the child's guardian. Rini wondered about guardian, and Mom clarified that guardian look after really young elves and protect them from harm, and what is more, in order to help the little elf grow up, they do something only elves can do, which is a special contract. Samu stated that her guardian is none other than Her Majesty, and Mom responded that it is nostalgic, and she was only 140 when Samu was born. After listening this, Rini got confused and thought that number does not sound right. Rini asked Mom if she is 140. Mom then stated that was back when she met Samu, and now quite some time has passed. Mom then asked about Samu, and she responded that she is only 130. Rini get completely confused and stated that is an amazing secret. Mom explained to Rini that if they do the guardian contract, they can talk to each other no matter how far away the other person may be, even if they cannot otherwise talk, and it is called telepathy. Samu explained that she contacted Her Majesty when she found Rini in Slanita and when they got close to her house. Mom asked Rini if she can let Samu go with her, as Samu would really like to. Samu then stated to Rini that if she insists on going alone, Samu can't make Rini take her with Rini, and it is just that Rini is still really small and she would stand out a lot traveling on her own. Mom then started that she can always contact Samu because of their guardian contracts, so it would greatly ease Mom's worries if Samu went with Rini. Mom further stated that it would be wonderful if she could hear about Rini, even if it was just completely trivial things, as she wants to experience Rini growing up. Samu stated that she will never get in Rini's way, and she will definitely be of use, and asked Rini if it is okay if Samu coming along. Samu then recalled that there is this wish she have always wanted to have granted, and stated that Her Majesty became her guardian and taught her many things, so she respected her and looked up to her, and for almost as long as she can remember. She thought that if Her Majesty married and had a child, she should be the only choice for its guardian. Samu further stated that for over 100 years since then, she has been working as hard as she could to become a stronger elf than anyone else, and kept telling herself it was what was necessary to become Her Majesty's child's guardian. Day after day, she lived her life with that goal in her mind, and so when Her Majesty became unable to control mana, she was filled with grief, and when she heard she wanted to marry that man, she hated him and thought her wish would never come true. But Samu explained that Her Majesty was happy because of that man, and Samu was nothing but a pathetic, weak, powerless elf. So when the previously closed telepathic channel to Her Majesty opened again, along with a message that she had a little girl called Rini, Samu couldn't stop the wave of emotion washing over her, and she wanted to go see Rini and meet her sooner than as soon as was possible. And when Samu met Lady Rini, those unforgettable golden eyes and that unforgettable silver hair, bearing the light of all the stars in the sky behind Rini, she came falling straight into Samu's arms. Rini thought that this is the person she have lived for, and asked Samu if she want to come with Rini. Samu thought that Rini is too precious and Samu is going crazy, and when Rini again asked her to come, Samu fainted down. Later on, Samu joined Rini's party, and 2 weeks later, while Samu-chan is busy gathering information about the mayor and the town in general, parents and Rini went on a picnic, went shopping, and generally made the most of their time as a family. Rini buried a bunch of charms around the house to increase its protection and did a lot of work to ensure her parents could live in peace. She used substitute dolls, a doll that protects its owners from life-threatening damage once slightly spooky. She used many of them and thought that substitute dolls break after just one use, so she lined up a bunch of them for when she is not here, and Mom responded that Rini certainly had peculiar taste in decoration. Mom stated to Rini that Samu is coming, and Rini responded that she will get ready. When Samu arrived, she apologized for the wait and stated that she had gathered much information about what Rini wanted to know, and Rini asked Samu to go ahead and report. Samu then said that she inspected and investigated the documents. Rini managed to find and confirmed that Shoujo is indeed the one behind everything. Samu explained that he lets the woman he is after money via the money lenders, and when they can't pay back the interest, he has them taken away as collateral. Samu further stated that Shoujo has basically just been repeating that process over and over, and Rini stated that is what he tried to do with Mom. Samu then further explained that he gave loans to a few people from this village, and thanks to Rini, Slanita's money lenders are gone, so the mayor can't do much at the moment, but the more time they give him, the more likely it is he will go back to doing the same thing again. Samu stated that Shoujo made the woman he brought work for him, and also he's also seemed to have taken small children as well, and when Rini wondered about children, Samu responded that from what she managed to find out, he sold them on to a religious sect, from what she could gather, and also there's a rumor that they have a jewel, and they might generally be looking after them, but they could also be raising them into blind followers of their faith. Rini and understood that, and Samu stated that she didn't look into them enough to find out, and what she found out about Shoujo made her worry for Rini and Her Majesty's safety, so she hurried back. Rini then asked Samu if she would come with her, and Samu affirmed. Rini stated that the town is not safe for Mom and Dad right now, and she wanted to change that, and she want them to be able to go to the town without being in danger. Rini stated that it is the time to go defeat Shoujo, and also said that to leave it to her. In the night, they reached to a place having large walls. Rini asked Samu if the place is correct, and Samu affirmed and thought that she don't think they will be noticed here. Rini stated that it is the time to dig, and Samu asked if Rini is really going to dig a tunnel to Shoujo's mentioned cellar from here, and Rini agreed as she wanted to see the cellar. Samu stated that according to her calculations, it's right that way, Shoujo's suspicious cellar, and digging a tunnel will take quite a lot of time, and asked Rini to let her help, but Rini stated that leave it to her, and also what she have here in her hands is none other than a pickaxe epic. She could use a legendary one like the one she used back when she dug up the jewel, but those break after one use, so they are not what she need at the moment, and in comparison, this one's digging speed is really fast, and it has high durability, making it perfect for what they need right now, so she will be using this pick to infiltrate the town mayor's cellar with the cat's paws. Rini stated that it is time to begin and use the pickaxe, and made a hole in the ground. Rini then stated that they will keep taking like this. Samu and Rini infiltrating Shoujo's mansion via an underground tunnel. After digging a long way, Rini asked Samu, which is the next way? And Samu replied that they have to go in the same direction but a bit lower. Samu was thinking that the Lady Rini is incredibly powerful and extraordinary, and it is pathetic of Samu to have doubt in her power for even a moment, especially after she saw herself to believe in Rini. Rini asked Samu if she is okay, and she affirmed and apologized. Samu stated that at this rate they will reach the mansion in no time, and she shall keep an eye out behind them and give directions, and Rini thanked her. Samu kept telling Rini directions, and then they hit a wall. They hit the wall and entered the room. There were some women, and they were terrified to see Rini as they misunderstood her as a beast kin. They thought, what is on earth going on? Samu thought that they are probably the women that Shoujo but against their bills, and they have been locked down just as she thought they would be. When women stated that they should not have come here as this place is not safe for them, and suggested them to go back before he finds them. Samu asked the women not to worry as they are here to save them. Samu then showed them the documents detailing how Shoujo purchased them as well as their debts, and also that Samu is going to give them back to women. Samu then asked them to come over here when she called their names. Samu further stated that the tunnel they came through leads outside Slanita, so they should be able to return to their villages or towns without much trouble, and they have also informed women's families about their situations already so they may return home. Women wondered if that is even possible and got confused. While Samu was getting their documents, Rini gave some potatoes and meat and bread to them if they are hungry. Women got emotional, and after that they left through the tunnel. Rini used her hermit's robe and asked Sanyu, "Is Shurdam above them right now?" Sanyu affirmed and stated that this is where those poor women slept and where they spent most of their time. Sanyu explained that there is a bath and a lavatory through the door, and then a spiral staircase leading up to the master bedroom. They found it strange as a passageway connecting this underground room to the master bedroom as put differently. This place is only accessible from the master bedroom, and the woman they helped escape were all really pretty. When they were standing there, an old man came there wondering, who should it be today? And wondered about that rebellious one who just came in recently and opened the gate but then wondered where have they gone. Sanyu from behind asked Mayor Shurdam if that matter. Shurdam then asked her who she is and then thought that she is a pretty elf, and he would love to make her his, but then Rennie cat punched him and threw him away. Sanyu then reminded her that they have talked about back in the tunnel, but then Rennie asked about it again. Sanyu recalled that she would like to gather some information from Shurdam if at all possible, and she wants to know where he sold those children off to and information on the buyer like why they wanted children, and then Rennie remembered. Rennie still thought that she failed to complete the event in the right number of terms, then recalled that she has always been like this and got emotional. Sanyu then stated that gathering information was not the top priority anyway, and they don't necessarily have to get it from him, and Rennie clarified that he was looking at Sanyu weirdly, and she just couldn't help herself. Sanyu thought that information is worthless in comparison to Rennie's irresistible cuteness. When Rennie was stressed out, Sanyu again stated that information is not worthless, and also that even if they cannot interrogate Shurdam for leads, she can still investigate on her own. Rennie then took a healing potion from inventory and stated that she will wake Shurdam up. Rennie thought that she learned in the game that if she fails an event, she can just try again, and she knows for a fact that fossils can be restored. Sanyu wondered, and Rennie stated that she used a healing potion, and Sanyu responded that she didn't know ones with such miraculous effects even existed. Shurdam woke up and wondered where he is and asked them who they are. Rennie clarified that she hit him on the head, and Shurdam wondered about her as a beast-kin child. Rennie asked Shurdam why did he gather a bunch of children and sell them off. Shurdam asked her what she is talking about. Sanyu asked him to stop his useless bluster and stated that they both know perfectly well that Shurdam gathered children only to sell them off somewhere, and he is not in any position to argue and asked Shurdam to just answer questions. Shurdam then stated that it was requested of him, and he was told to gather kids around Rennie's age, especially ones with distinct characteristics or a lot of talent. Sanyu asked him who requested this of him, and Shurdam stated that he don't know the details. Shurdam further stated that he was told he would be introduced to the mayor of another big town, and he got money from selling them, and he got to spread his name too. The mayor then stated that he wants to a town for long as he is destined for greater things, and he is going higher. Sanyu stated that Shurdam sold off children from the towns and villages in her own jurisdiction and termed those women every night, and asked him if he really thinks someone capable of doing such things deserve a higher position. Shurdam stated that he is the greatest, so he deserves something like that, but Sanyu found it idiotic and stated that they managed to gather some information with the help of Rennie, and it is quite likely that something big is going on behind the scenes, and somebody decided it would be safer if this man didn't know anything. Rennie then responded that they managed to find out why he sold the children, and also that other terms are likely involved in this too. Sanyu explained the next step is to find his official stamp, so they would better head up and search his office and room, and Rennie agreed. Rennie then asked Sanyu to hang on for a moment and saw that there are no life signatures and footsteps in the tunnel, and then she used her cat's claws to close the tunnel. When they were heading to the master room, Shurdam asked them to wait and stated that they are really strong, and they quite shocked little old him, and asked them if they not want to come and live a life of luxury with him. When they wondered, Shurdam stated that he will buy them anything and they will be able to eat as many sweets as they want, and he will give them toys and clothes and jewelry too. Shurdam asked Rennie if she likes fighting and stated that he will get her someone to whom she will be allowed to do anything she wants, and asked her if about a human or if she wants a different race. Rennie then responded that nothing he can give her will make her happy as she is pretty strong, which means she can get things she wants herself, and then they closed the door. After that, they stamped the woman's documents with Shurdam's official, and Sanyu did a great job covering every eventuality. Sanyu already sent documents with proof of his involvement in human trafficking and illegal transactions to the government, so they should bring into action fairly soon, and Shurdam will be punished, and a new mayor will be chosen. Sanyu stated that she has also made a document detailing his resignation, just to make sure there are not any complications down the road. Rini noticed something in the drawer and asked Sanyu, "What is this?" Sanyu responded that she will inject a bit of mana into it and find out, and then stated that it appears to be something like a switch. If they put it in the right place, something would happen. Rini then showed her a place related to that switch, and Sanyu stated that it was in the door leading to the underground room. Sanyu then clarified that it seems to be a trigger to collapse the passage to the underground room. When Rini wondered, Sanyu stated that she is afraid that he loved those women there, and with this, he could close the passage and act completely innocent if something happened. Now the town and the surrounding villages should have a bit of peace, and now parents are safe too. Mission is complete, and they escaped by jumping over the roof. Sanyu asked Rini if she is scared, and Rini denied and stated that Sanyu is fast. Sanyu stated to Rini that while working with Rini, she felt that Rini could do anything all on her own, and she is imaginably strong. Sanyu also stated that she wanted to help Rini, but after today, she feels like she will just get in Rini's way. Rini then said that she is strong, but she makes mistakes all the time, and Sanyu has saved her from them. Rini then stated that she wants to make a guardian contract with Sanyu, and then she wondered if she can't as her ears are round. Sanyu then responded that Rini can only enter a guardian contract once, and once Rini has chosen someone, and that is it. Sanyu further stated that she belongs to Lady Rini, and she has since decided that she was born for Rini, and that she lives for Rini. Sanyu then explained to Rini that she doesn't have to decide on a guardian right away, and there are many stronger and prettier elves out there, and Sanyu just wondered what would happen if Rini had more people to choose from. Rini once again thought that just how wonderful Sanyu is and stated that she chooses Sanyu. They stopped at a large clock building, and Rini asked Sanyu if they enter the contract right away. Rini then stated that it might be meaningless if it does not work because of her. Sanyu responded that it won't be meaningless whether the contract works or not, doesn't matter, as the fact that Rini entered a guardian contract with Sanyu is enough for her. Sanyu then vowed to be Rini Sherm Gora's guardian, and she swore to protect Rini, cost it Samu's harm or her life, and then put Rini's hand on her face and kissed it. Rini got trembled, and Sanyu apologized and stated that she must kiss a part of the other party's body to enter the contract. Sanyu then asked if Rini feels anything, and Rini said that it is kind warm, and then Rini stated that she supposed she needs to do the same thing to Sanyu, and then hugged her. Rini stated that she accepts Sanyu Alma as her guardian, and they will have a lot of fun together, and kissed her on the left and then on the right. Rini asked Sanyu if she feels warm too, but Sanyu thought that Rini is too precious, and that was the ultimate attack, and fainted down. The world begins to move with the rise of the sun, and in Slanita, the town that tells the time, Rini will be in this new world today, and she will be here tomorrow too. In the next scene, Rini was sleeping in her bed and asked herself to wake up. She suddenly stood and stated that today is a very special day, and then changed her clothes. Rini wished morning to Sanyu and stated that she, Rini, is now an incredible 4 years old, the perfect age to set off on a journey. Sanyu stated that she read the scroll Rini gave her via and apologized for being so impolite. Sanyu then asked why did she have to say those lines, and Rini responded that there is no reason but that voice resounding inside her head. Rini thought that she would be able to experience telepathy in the flesh and thanked Sanyu. Rini stated that she is really happy right now, and Sanyu fell. After Rini somehow managed to prevent Sanyu from falling off the clock tower, they successfully completed the guardian contract and became able to communicate telepathically. While Rini might still be in her sealed state, as attested to by her round ears, she is still an elf, and according to Sanyu, Rini definitely have mana circulating throughout her body, but her awareness of it is sealed, so she cannot actually make any use of it. Rini thought her mother seems to be in a similar state, and her guardian contract with Sanyu is still in effect, and after all, Rini wonders if that is why her guardian contract succeeded. Rini tested the specifics of telepathy, but it's not like every single thought she have gets broadcast to Sanyu or vice versa, and instead, only things Rini want to tell her actually reach her. The way it works is actually quite similar to phones. Rini thought that since Mom can also talk telepathically with Sanyu, if something ever happened to her or Dad, Sanyu would know right away, so Rini can set off without worry. Rini was ready to go for her adventure, and Mom asked her to make sure she sleeps enough and eats a lot so she grows up big. Rini asked Dad to make sure he takes the doll hunting with him, and Dad agreed and stated that Rini has so many of them around the house that taking one with him should be fine. Rini asked Mom not to overwork herself and stated that if something bad happens, Mom has to tell Sanyu. Mom affirmed and stated that Rini should also make sure to tell Samu if she ever needs anything. Rini hugged her parents and Dad stated to Samu that he is leaving Rennie in her care, and then Samu and Rennie went away. They were rocking the forest, and while resting in a place, Rini wondered what's Lolita's new town mayor like. Samu stated that he was only just inaugurated, so not been in charge for long, but at the moment he seems desperate to get everything back to normal. Samu further stated that Shurtum embezzled quite a lot of money and illegally collected taxes from the surrounding villages, who he then chased away so there would not be any evidence against him. When Samu the new mayor seems fine, Rini responded that is a relief. Samu still don't know where the children are and then apologized Rennie for not finding anything despite the amount of time she had. Rini that it is okay and thanked her and wondered where they got sent off to. Rini thought that Shurtum said the reason he sold off the children he had gathered together with those moments was to further his connection with his bosses. Rini asked Samu where they are going first. Samu responded that she thinks they should head towards the city that oversees all the towns and villages around here. When Rini asked if they are going where the city mayor is, Samu affirmed and responded that it is called Rioliga. Samu further stated that if Shurtum had connections there, they should be able to find and follow them. Samu have already investigated it, but there might be something she overlooked but asked Rennie to recognize if she saw it in person. Samu then stated that it is also the most prosperous place in the region, so it is not a bad place for Rennie to go sightseeing either, and Rioliga is a major traffic hub, so many merchants pass through there, and there are many inns and shops that cater to travelers. When Samu stated to Rennie that will be something that catches her interest, Rennie got curious and stated that she want to go. Rennie asked Samu how far away Rioliga is, and Samu responded it is around 3 days from here, and there are towns will end on the way, so they don't have to worry about where to sleep. Rennie was excited and stated that it is the time to investigate the children's disappearance and go sightseeing. It is the day traveling together, and they ate at a store famous for its meat cooking. Rennie looked absolutely dazzling as she sung the praises of the food in a language Samu don't know. Rennie found the inn man of utmost interest. She found this inn on the outskirts of town, and the way she runs around inspecting everything is wonderful. On day 2, they stopped by a garden where they could pick fruit, and Rennie, lit up by the light filtering through the trees, seemed the very depiction of a goddess of good harvest. Day 3, Lady Rennie inspected the back of a signboard. Samu thought that Rennie is wonderful and to have knowledge the likes of Samu cannot even fathom. Samu thought that she still cannot even begin to understand the depth of Rennie's interest in the world. They saw a horse cart pass by them. Rennie stated that the road is wider now, and there is more carts too. Samu stated that is traffic hub for Rennie and people are always coming and going. Then suddenly there was a horse cart rushing towards them. Samu wondered what is going on as the man seems in an awful hurry. Man asked them to run and to look south as there is a dragon. Rennie used her inventory and asked Samu to come along. When they went in south, there was a dragon and people were being attacked. Samu stated that it should be sleeping in a cave and that dragon was the one that was protecting the jewel. Rennie asked Samu to come as dragon was attacking the citizens and picked a cart. Rennie used her cat punch but it dodged. Samu stated that she will distract it and use an arrow, but dragon has made a barrier out of mana and Samu's arrows are bouncing off. Samu stated that her arrows might not hit it, but she don't think it will land if she keeps shooting at it. Rennie got it and stated that she will talk to the people in the carriage and then comment fight. She went to cart and asked if everyone is all right. A little girl answered that they are fine. Rennie wondered, and then other girls in the cart stated to Your Highness that she must not answer and asked her to allow them to talk to Rennie, but the girl denied and stated that she want to talk to Rennie. She asked Rennie what is going on out there and where are the soldiers. Rennie responded that they are in an emergency at the moment. Your Highness was worried as everyone was defeated.
Hey guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We love reading your comments, so please leave your thoughts and suggestion below, and wish you a happy new year to all of you.